All reports recommend that Travis Barker is profoundly rankled by Kim Kardashian's activities, as they appear to have made huge misery Kourtney during her high-risk pregnancy. I'm addressing let you realize it stops right now. I got upset. When I'm similar to Stand By Nothing occurred at the wedding, it wasn't so much as a discussion at the wedding you realize. I was in no state to converse with no one I was unable to try. And presumably, like made sentences, like you said you're overlooking, what's really important yet isn't the point about the garments, and you're discussing the looks I controlled away. I did what it's actually not necessary to focus on the garments you're referring to the stories, cause it's all your boastful self-centered personalities. Can think about sources near Travis. Guarantee that he ended up being very disturbed after discovering that Kim had raised delicate issues about Kourtney's kids during their new telephone discussion at last lessoning Kourtney to Tears Kourtney, who is at present expecting her most memorable kid with Travis, is moving toward her due date anyway. Her pregnancy has been named high gamble because of her age, and she has of late needed to go through earnest medical procedure to shield the child's life. While Travis has commonly decided to avoid the Kardashian family's debates and has been a private and strong accomplice to Kourtney, apparently he can never again stay quiet Kim's choice to reach her pregnant sister and uncover terrible data about her youngsters is viewed as an especially vindictive demonstration. So how did Travis answer Kim and Kourtney's telephone discussion? Could this occurrence lead to Kourtney and Travis forever disavowing the Kardashians? Could it be that you feel so low of me? It seems like to know I believe you should recover profound and figure the reason why you disdain me. Such a great deal different you disdain us you're an alternate individual. We has a whole discussion about it. I don't require you folks any longer gracious. You might have proactively caught wind of the warmed contention that occurred among Kim and Kourtney, which was to some extent broadcasted in the most recent episode of The Kardashians. Kim's frightful remark has produced huge web-based reaction with fans, censuring her for involving Kourtney's youngsters as a weapon against her makes what is happening considerably seriously disturbing. That the call supposedly happened after Kourtney had illuminated her family about her pregnancy. And Kim knew that Kourtney's pregnancy was high gamble. For this reason, there are claimed endeavors by Travis Barker to convince Kourtney to restrict her contact with Kim, basically, until she conceives an offspring, given Kim's undeniably flighty conduct on the off chance that you miss the new advancements in the continuous show among Kourtney and Kim. Everything started when Kim connected with Kourtney and stretched out a greeting for her to join her in Italy, where Kim was advancing her Dolce & Gabbana crusade. Anyway, strains emerged in light of the fact that Kim had acquired the idea for her Dolce & Gabbana cooperation from Kourtney's wedding, and had likewise upset the agreeable environment at the wedding with her way of behaving. Subsequently, Kourtney declined the greeting regardless. She communicated her expectation to help Kim's task anyway. The circumstance heightened when Kim started to control Kourtney's discernment, proposing that nothing inappropriate had happened at the wedding, and inferring that Kourtney was overcompensating without reason anyway. On the off chance that you have watched the unique episode of Kourtney and Travis' wedding, you would realize that there were positively essential occasions. And we aren't simply alluding to Kim copying Kourtney's Dolce & Gabbana stylish. The essential concern spun around Kim's disposition during the wedding. All through the occasion she seemed unbiased and conveyed a fairly dull discourse during the function anyway. Kim battled with the emphasis being on Kourtney and put forth constant attempts to move the discussion towards her own wedding to Cannes in Italy. She shared, I'll concede, when I was strolling down the walkway in Italy with the long train, I was so anxious I figured I could run down the passageway too quick. Maybe the most disagreeable occurrence, including Kim at the wedding, was the point at which she intruded on Travis' child Landon. While he was conveying a sincere discourse at the gathering, Landon's discourse was profoundly moving and communicated the significant meaning of Kourtney in his life anyway. Kim battled to deal with the commendation and deference coordinated toward Kourtney, and she interfered with Landon, educating him to quiet down Landon's ardent discourse, kept communicating his profound association with Kourtney. In these beyond couple of months, I've genuinely come to realize you so well, and my affection for you has developed gigantically. You've paid special attention to me like a mother, and consistently had my back. I really accept you made up for the shortcoming in my heart so flawlessly, and have granted extraordinary qualities and shrewdness to me. Together you and my father exhibit what genuine romance resembles, no matter what the fracture among Kim and Kourtney. It was obvious from Kim's demeanor that she was fuming with outrage in light of the fact that Kourtney was getting public acknowledgement for her job in their relationship, and her nurturing this young man had arranged a contacting discourse for his dad's wedding. And Kim's interference disturbed his ardent second. While Kim has been getting generally pessimistic consideration in regards to her affection life, Kourtney endeavored to pass all of this on to Kim during their telephone discussion. She made sense of that the issue wasn't principally about Kim copying her yet, rather about Kim not partaking in that frame of mind on her big day anyway. Kim decided to dismiss this viewpoint and kept on stressing the subject of dress. Kourtney commented, "You're overlooking the main issue." Yet Kim demanded, "Isn't the point about the garments, you're discussing the looks." Kourtney endeavored to direct the discussion away from the attire perspective, declaring there's no need to focus on the garments. Kim, it isn't so much that creative many individuals embrace 90s design, it's anything but another idea. There are just such countless hopes to browse. Kourtney proposed that Kim was focusing on the details, since it lined up with her pretentious and conceited mentality. With regards to her egotistical propensities, Kim, by and by neglected all that Kourtney had said, and attempted to give Kourtney a role as the main adversary in the circumstance. Kourtney, then again, has stepped up to the plate and go to treatment and master powerful relational abilities anyway. Kim, who had recently communicated her doubt in treatment, answered protectively and turned to one more strategy ordinarily utilized by egomaniacs. She started to affect others and changed from expressing "I" to "us," hinting that Kourtney's companions had pessimistic discussions about her in a mystery bunch visit. This conduct is an exemplary detachment strategy utilized by egomaniacs. Assuming that you're a long-term enthusiast of staying aware of the Kardashians, you might perceive this example. Kim utilized a comparable strategy with her sibling Ransack, endeavoring to give Kourtney a role as an alternate individual who is detested by us. All she attested, "You disdain us, you've become another person." Kim proceeded to guarantee, "I needn't bother with your presence in my life any longer. I needn't bother with to be a piece of this." She further claimed that Kourtney's companions were all connecting with Grumble, regardless of whether Kourtney accepted they were moving toward her. As per Kim, they were all furtively speaking with the gathering, creating turmoil. They kept a different gathering talk, explicitly marked "not Kourtney," where they needed to filter through the messages from Kourtney's companions. It's significant that when Kim referenced that everybody was attempting to understand the reason why Kourtney had turned into an alternate individual, this is much of the time a characteristic result when somebody goes through a recuperating cycle. This can be setting off for egotists, since they regularly favor the rendition of you that stays unhealed. This is clear from Kim's past way of behaving, where she urged and empowered Kourtney to remain in a harmful dynamic with Scott during a period when Kourtney was hopeless in that relationship. Since Kourtney has tracked down adoration with Travis and has at last encountered a sound relationship, Kim has all the earmarks of being putting forth attempts to persuade her that something is wrong for a really long time. Kim had been attesting that she gave Kourtney a vocation and distinction, which is the reason she was unable to endure Kourtney and Travis collecting consideration freely anyway. During one more second in Kim and Kourtney's call, Kim's self-centered propensities became evident. She educated Kourtney that all regarding her companions were participated in a mystery bunch visit where they vented their complaints about her. Kourtney, showing strength, would not be impacted by this disclosure. Kourtney let it all out and stood up to Kim about her obvious despondency. She keenly brought up that Kim's commitment to secret gathering talks, where she blabbered about others, showed her own discontent. This perception seemed to hit a nerve with Kim, provoking her to quickly interfere with Kourtney. And further fuel what is going on, Kim said. Maybe you want to ponder why in the event that you're troubled you devote your opportunity to having side discussions explicitly to examine me we.